Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Crypto CJ's Trade of the Day. This is a Friday afternoon Zoom edition. And most of my videos the last few weeks have been limited to the Zooms because I'm learning a new skill. I'm learning how to leverage trade. And that really doesn't lend itself to doing the short, 5 to 8 minute videos I do in addition to the Zooms. So if you're wondering where those have been, I hope to, once I gain confidence in this new approach, start doing videos, the shorter videos about specific trades, to do those again. But probably for the rest of the month in June, it'll be just the Zooms. And I am doing some spot trading too. So if some of those pan out and do well, then I'll probably do a video here or there, but it'll mostly be the Zooms on Monday and Friday. So hope that's okay. And I'm going to share my screen. Let's talk about good old Bitcoin. And I am probably like the rest of you struggling to figure out what the heck is going on with Bitcoin. Let's see, can you guys see my Bitcoin chart okay? Should be on the day.
Yep.
All right, good. So it's been hovering around the bottom of my channel here, or wedge or whatever we call these, for several weeks now, and looks like it was trying to bust through here a couple days ago, then did spring back up, and now it's hovering, hanging around 37,000, give or take. I did draw in this trend line. Let's get a closer look at that. So got this started up here in late May, and it hasn't really been able to punch through for any length of time. For a few hours it did, in the 38 range, but that was yesterday in the wee hours and hasn't done much since. One of the reasons I like to have a Friday afternoon Zoom is I hate trading Friday afternoons. I've had bad luck in the past, and one of the reasons I don't like it is this. This is I've showed this in a few of my other videos before. This shows what time it is in the other markets in the rest of the world. As many of you know, most crypto trading is done in Asia. The USA is kind of behind those folks, and they're all pretty much sleeping or just getting up early on a Saturday morning. So I don't know how many of them feel like trading crypto right now, but the bottom line is the weekends tend to have quite a bit lower volume, and lower volume usually means lower prices. I do like to look at, I do like to try to find bargains on the weekends. On Saturday and Sundays, I usually trade for a half a day and look for bargains, but otherwise, the weekends are either dead or crazy volatile, not really much in between. So when it comes to trying to figure out what Bitcoin's going to do, I've been pretty frustrated. I've talked about a couple plans I've had, and we've talked about it on our Zooms, and it seems like when I think I have it figured out, it does something completely different. So with that in mind, I was thinking of adopting the George Costanza method of trading. If any of you are Seinfeld fans, I will show you what I mean by that. Shoot, where'd that meme go? Okay, here we go. And so can you guys see my George Costanza, Jerry Seinfeld, I will do the opposite meme? This is what I'm thinking of doing from now on when it comes to Bitcoin, just saying, okay, figure out what I think it should do and then plan for it to do the opposite. We even got my Vandelay Industries t-shirt here for a real deep Seinfeld reference. But anyway, I'm starting to wonder if this is the thing to do, and it made me, sometimes even hesitant to host this. It's like, because I feel like, at least when it comes to Bitcoin, I'm not always just, and when it comes to Bitcoin, it's really more just of a discussion, because I don't know what it's going to do. There's a lot of opinions on YouTube and there's people I follow who I trust, but it seems like they don't really know either. So anyway, I don't know what the heck Bitcoin's going to do. I'm still mostly in cash right now. I did, a classic bad mistake on Tuesday. I can share with you guys when trades go well, but I think I need to tell you when things go badly too. And I make a mistake. And on Tuesday, I thought there was a good chance we were going to break 30, go down to, 26 or low 20s. So I sold on a lot of my swing trade positions that were negative anyway, really at the wrong time. So if I'd been a little more patient and waited, another day or two, then I would have done considerably better. They still would have been losses, but I would have had more cash to work with to buy a potential breakout. So what the consensus is from the people in the Altcoin Alert Slack group and some of the YouTubers, consensus is probably the wrong word, but what makes the most sense to me is that it's going to push through this trend line, maybe even up to 40, come back and test it. I'll draw this in. Come back around here. Then bounce, test this. And if we get a bounce up again, that's a good sign that we're going up. And obviously if it breaks down again, could be another fake out like we had right about here. So, but George Costanza would do the opposite. Maybe I'll just do the opposite and I'm not sure what the opposite of that would be. I'll have to figure that out. We'll talk about that some more later. So anyone else want to talk about Bitcoin and what they think it's going to do? Or have I discouraged you sufficiently?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
I watch the CryptNation stuff. I watch some other people, and everybody just seems to be like, we'll wait to see what it's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going out on a limb and saying it's going to go one way or the other. So I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's going to go one way or the other.
I think the main YouTube personalities will make bold predictions, and then if they come to pass, they'll in their future videos they'll point back to the past ones, and if they don't come to pass, they'll just probably delete those videos. That's what I think is going on. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right. So that's enough about Bitcoin, and let's go to Altcoin Alert. And how do we trade this crazy market? It's really difficult. I've had one of my worst weeks as a trader, and it happened to be some of it was on leverage, so that's no good. But anyway, so our current Altcoin Alert scores. Reload this, update it. I was doing my usual prep, and I did check out DNT. It's only on Binance, and the volume is below 1 million, so I wouldn't trade that. So we're not going to look at that one. Tel is on another an exchange I don't use either. I did look at Chili's. Chili's had a nice run up yesterday and early this morning. It's actually the highest pumping coin the last 24 hours. I meant to check to see if there was a news item on this. There's a review a week ago, but that's not going to move the market. So just seems to be one of those things out of the blue. The Chili's pumped up. Now, is there anything we can do now? Well, again, if you're looking for, well, it went through one of these slow burn dip sequences. That's when you just get very small candles just hovering around the lower Bollinger Band. These can go 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 dips. Really what you want is some of these bigger moves like this that you see on the way up. Some more decisive candle action. We're just not getting that today. So this could be, we're a little late, but it did go through a dip sequence. We got 1, 2, sort of 3, more like 4. So you could have gotten in here or here and made a small return, about 3%. It's a good day trade. So that's actually had some movement this afternoon and most of the day. So Chili's might be one to watch. I think we're a little too late now for a dip trade. You might want to see if it punches through the SMA line, and then could do some action like this, and then you could get a trend trade back to, here would be around 6 to 7%. If it got back to here on a retrace, 35 cents would be 9%. Those are excellent day trades. So I think this is one to watch. I don't know if it's run out of gas already because it was the highest coin of the day. But anyway, I like Chili's. So that's one. Matic. I've had a love-hate relationship with Matic lately. I bought it yesterday at what I thought was a low purchase at 136, and looking for just a 5% pop to 143. And as you can see, it went to 138 in the wee hours, and it's been on the trek down ever since. It's a pretty good ladder buy location right now. I'm going to see if this holds in this area. If that's the case, I'll go ahead and do a second position. It'll be about 8% lower than my first position. So, the average,
Don't
right around
feel
140.
lonely. Don't feel lonely, CJ, on that. I've done a couple of those, and instead of going up, they did the opposite and kept on going down. So I'm sitting and hanging on right now to see if they're going to wake up.
Yeah, Pat. I don't know if you've seen my videos about ladder buying, or if you've seen that in. I know you're an iCoin Pro too. So that's often a good strategy to employ if you're confident, reasonably confident that the downturn is temporary. But Matic has been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Let's look at the day chart here. These markings are my Fibonacci retracements. These are some advanced charting strategies, but I can tell you this blue zone is roughly halfway between the high and the low. So we've got the recent high on May 18th, and then I started over here. I could have started really anywhere along here, but Matic had its big run up at the end of 2020, early 2021. So that's my low, and it's right in the middle here. So I'm not worried about my entry point from yesterday. I'm going to probably, like I said, go ahead and ladder buy it and then hold this for a while. I mean, a while for me is a few days. I'm thinking of it's sort of a pseudo swing trade, but Matic has been an altcoin alert listing for several days now. So I like it for that. This is something I've been looking at more, the top 5 days winners. Sometimes I want to short these if I think they're exhausted, but as you can see, we talked about Chili's a little while ago. I like Quant. I've got a low buy order on this. It's on Coin Metro. I do a little trading on Coin Metro. I like that exchange. And then over here, we've got what's taken a beating lately, and Rune and KMD are coins I trade sometimes. So actually, that's not. I thought that was something else, but Rune I've traded before. So that's all I have on AA scores. We'll do some other sorts too. Anybody have any questions on those? Well, actually, let's look at on Matic if we were going to get in now. I mean, Pat and I are in already, but it's done a nice dip sequence and it's coming back. So this might be, and we're a little late on a dip trade, but it didn't really have a 1, 2, 3. It went 1 and big drop here, 2. Well, here we go. Here's our third. So this would be a good entry point here. Yeah, maybe not. If you could, it's about 1.8% to the SMA line, 1.6. I'm not sure if I'd want to get in this now or see if it'll bounce around for another dip. So I think Matic and Chili's both have two coins that have potential. If I were inclined to trade on Friday afternoons, if I weren't still superstitious about it, I would probably get in. Otherwise, I might just wait till Saturday to see what they do.
I was confused by Matic because it was showing up a lot in the top corner of the charts, like, you know, a high AA score. And the last call that Bryce was on, he was kind of down on it, like he thought it had run out. And I thought, just about the time that I was thinking, oh, this is showing up, and I think it's probably a good one, he kind of threw some cold water on me. So I didn't get into Matic. But I couldn't figure out why he was saying that if the AA score kept giving it 80s, 85s.
Well, you have to make a distinction between how Bryce trades as more of a long-term trader or swing trader, and then the AA score, we're looking for day trades.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the quality of the project is less of an issue for day traders. We're more interested in chart action and news. So for a long-term trade, you know, something to hold for 6 months to a year, he might be right. He was saying, you know, Matic's time might be limited because there are better, you know, better products and or projects coming out. So, you know, I would defer to his judgment on that. But you know, when I say this coin's been weird, it, you know, shot up here, then dropped, you know, with all the other coins on the 19th and the 23rd, but regained most of that a few days later and then dropped again. So this has had some of the most violent action, you know, since the May 19th drop than any other coin. So I don't entirely trust it right now, but for the short term, you know, I'm willing to do a ladder buy and see if it, you know, it's already kind of recovered from this drop here. Is down to 124. It's picked up another 3 cents. You know, it's probably about 6 or 7% below where I bought it, so that's not that bad. And the coin moves enough to capture that fairly quickly.
I'm not a handyman or anything, but don't ladders go in both directions?
Indeed. All right, let's do some other altcoin alert sorts. I was tinkering with, what was I doing today? I was looking at the low AA scores to see if there was anything to short. You know, even if you guys aren't aren't leverage trading, you know, I've talked before about the leverage tokens on Binance and FTX, and there's one or two other platforms that have it, where you can get 2x to 3x leverage and trade it pretty much like a spot coin token. So that's something to think about if you think something's really going to go down or really going to go up and you don't want to deal with leverage. And the only low rated coin here is SNX. It's just bearish. If I were going to use this, I'd probably look for very bearish. So let's look at it anyway. We have it up. So I've traded SNX before. It should be in my list here. It is. And very squeezy. About 4% between the top and the bottom. I mean, not bad, but not that great either. It has been just on a track down, but it looks like most of the other coins right now. You know, since this morning at 6:30, it's been down as low as almost 10% and recovered a little bit of that. So
I was doing what you're doing now, CJ, and I was looking at metal, MTL.
Okay.
So far, it hasn't gone up like I wanted it to, but similar to what you were doing, looking at the very bearish.
So was your thinking then that once it hit a low, it was due to come back?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that kind of approach is already built in the AA score. Some people have tried what you're talking about. I haven't traded it that way. When I see very bearish, I look to short. But that your interpretation could be spot on. So, but I'm going to assume metal looks like all the others today. Yeah, it's just since 6:30, it's down. Yeah, nearly identical to what we just looked at with SNX. So we'll see. Hopefully it comes back later on today or tomorrow. What's your goal on this, Steve?
I think I got in at 230 and I got a buy for 250 or sell for 250, I think.
All right. 250, retrace back here to, earlier this morning. That's reasonable. 7% is pretty ambitious. I was looking for 5 to 10% pretty consistently when the market was running up more. I've altered that where I'm now looking at for 3 to 5%, since we seem to be at least in a bearish cycle of the bull market, or whether we're still in the bull market, I don't know. But usually if I set, a 7 to 10% exit on a coin, and then I hold it overnight and it doesn't reach that goal, I will lower that to try to get out of the trade, because I'd rather not be in a trade more than 2 days. So if I get 2 or 3% instead of 5 to 7%, that's okay. All right, so let's see what else we can do. We were doing some sorts on the Elder Impulse daily. I find I need to reload before I sort this way. So we've got a few bullish. T-Fuel, Kasama. Cream, this is the one Bryce complains about. I did trade this once on FTX and it didn't work out for me, but I hold grudges sometimes against coins. I shouldn't, but T-Fuel we talked a lot about on, I remember if it was Monday or last Friday, but let's check that out. So let's look at the scores. We've got a bullish score, got thumbs up on trading and social activity. I'd rather see this upper at 5% or higher. The hourly's bearish, but I'm more interested in the daily. And here's, you can just put your cursor over the question mark to get the information on what this means. And the Elder Impulse is that colored coded momentum indicator that Bryce likes to use on his chart. So let's check out T-Fuel. Okay, this one's resisted a lot of the dumpage. I've even got an alert set here that hasn't been hit yet. So this has already recovered all the losses from May 19th and actually gone beyond its high from April or March actually, and then it's retraced some. But this one and its cousin Theta have done very well. But it has been dropping the last few days. So let's look at the hour. Yeah, we had the last 2 days we're down 28%. That's not good. So it's definitely losing steam. And the shorter time frame did have a punch up today in the wee hours. Then it's gone sideways since. So I don't see an obvious entry here. If this were trending up in this above the SMA line, I don't know. It's probably not enough meat on that bone for me to get interested on a Friday afternoon. But overall, I do like this project, and it's resisted a lot of the Bitcoin dumps, so that's cool. Some people say it just moves the opposite of Bitcoin, so that's sort of your could be a Bitcoin hedge. That's not a leverage situation, so could be one to watch over the weekend. And then KSM, let's look at that. So it had a big dump here on the 19th, recovered a lot of it, And then it's been dropping the last 2 days. So this one's showed some resilience, and that's kind of what I'm looking for anymore. Coins that are, I mean, I know they're going to move with Bitcoin, but if they come back pretty quick, it makes me think they have a future. Yeah, 75%. So essentially 15% down from its high. And look at that a little later. So on the hour, it's followed like most of the other coins. We lost about 20% last 2 days. On the 5-minute is an entry point. It kind of looks like Matic and T-Fuel. It had a drop down here, and then we're too late really for a dip trade. But 1, 2, this is a classic 1, 2, 3 dip that I've talked about in many of my videos. This is one of probably my favorite strategy. And
hey guys, hate to break in. We're getting a heck of a thunderstorm up here in Michigan, so I'm going to get off before I blow something up. Good seeing y'all, and I'll meet you guys next week.
All right, thanks, Pat. And I'll send out a recording of this if you want to watch it later.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys.
All right, have a good one.
Take care.
All right, so Kusama, we're a little bit late for a dip trade. If I see a couple candles punch above the SMA line, it might be worthwhile. Try to ride it up here and pick up 2 or 3%. So Kusama is one I like a lot. Okay, any questions about sorting based on the elder impulse? All right, I'm gonna move on. I'll do one trading activity sort, and then I'll just throw it open to questions and coins to look at. So we've looked at Chili's already. Axis looks interesting. It's got the 5% fire on trading activity and social. I'm looking for neutral or above on AA score. Bearish on the daily impulse, but very bullish on the sentiment. Or I mean on, yeah, bearish on the daily is discouraging. Not necessarily a deal breaker, but got bullish on long-term and short-term sentiment. Sorry, very bullish on sentiment, neutral on short-term. It's up 9% today. I've traded this coin with some success, so I think it's worth a look. Not on my list. And this one looks a little different than some of the others. It's a little squeezier. It's actually 6% between the Bollinger Bands, not bad. If it's 3% or lower, I'm just usually not interested, but 5% or higher, then I'll usually take a look, even if I see this visual. Because ideally on day trading, we want some room to move. Let's get the overview on the day. Okay, it actually been trending, it has not come up much since the May 19th drop. Did have a big spike in the wee hours. And it's punched through the SMA line. And 1% to the top of the Bollinger Band. If you want to go to this, this resistance, about 2%. I don't know, not enough for me. I think the risk reward is off base on this one. So not loving that one. And don't really see anything in here else that we haven't looked at already. So I talked about quant. Let's look at that. Not sure. Go with the KuCoin chart. I think quant was a recommendation in one of Bryce's news emails. That's what brought it to my attention. And then I had a nice trade with it before the 19th drop. I got back in after that, but too soon because it dropped again on the 23rd. And I got stopped out. I set some stop losses. So fortunately, I do have some cash in that account, and I bought back in. I put a low buy order on it, right in this area here. If it doesn't fill over the weekend, I'll reevaluate that. But as far as the day trade goes, I haven't day traded this before. But we've had some really nice movement, and it's mostly pumping up on the hour. And the 5 minutes had a nice run. So I think we're too late for this one, but this is one to keep an eye on. This chart looks very different than the other charts I've been looking at today. So it's had a really nice, it was going sideways here and then nice run up. So. All right, so that is all I have on Altcoin Alert. Does anybody else want me to do anything else with Altcoin Alert before I move on to some more general stuff? All right, I do have a chat question, I believe, or issue. Okay, King Crypto says hello. Good to see you on board. Alan, move BNB from my trust wallet to Binance US. They've been putting me off since then, not acknowledging the deposit. I have the record recorded in the trust wallet, but Binance US hasn't done anything but merge my request. Do I have any other recourse? Alan, I'm sorry to hear that. That's beyond the scope of this show, and I have no experience with Binance US. I've heard their customer service leaves much to be desired, and I don't have really any idea of what to do to help. Can anyone else in the group who maybe has more experience with Binance US have a suggestion for Alan? Sorry, buddy. Wish we could help you on this. I assume if you're an Altcoin Alert, we have the Slack group, and I've seen questions like this posed to that group before. You've probably done that already, but if you haven't, that would be a good place to start, either in the help section or the open discussion, or both.
Thanks, I will.
All right. All right, Jay, who I emailed a little while ago, another crypto advisor listened to, said June is DOT and KSM month. Yeah, I like, looks like we're going to a little broader questions and issues, and that's fine. Yeah, I like DOT and KSM, as I just mentioned about KSM. I put low buy orders on both for over the weekend. I'm hoping they get filled. If not, I'll reevaluate and probably raise those and try to get into those projects. They're both solid on my swing trade side. I don't trade them day trading very often. I have had some success with leverage tokens on DOT, DOT up, DOT down, on Binance, and DOT Bold. Actually, I don't think FTX has it, but on Binance, I've traded those DOT movements with some success. So those are two I like. King Crypto is asking about AMP. I think that's Ampleforth. I was in that last year briefly, and I don't recall how I did with it, but I haven't been back in since, so I'm not that familiar with it.
There was a different AMP that was just listed on Coinbase.
Okay.
I actually I saw the SigDev, and I got into it, and out of it made about $130 in less than a day.
Cool. And what, I know it was a Coinbase listing. What exchange did you buy it on?
On Coinbase. I had some US dollars sitting there, so I just bought it there.
Oh, okay. Before it was listed?
Well, like as soon as it was listed.
Oh, okay. Usually on those we try to buy before they're listed on a different exchange. So I saw that. Yeah,
I was late to the party, but I got lucky in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough week. I bought one of the other three. I don't remember which one it was on. It was on KuCoin, and I bought it at 140. It went straight down to like 100. It did come up to back to 110 or so. I held it a couple out. Yeah, probably about half a day after the actual listing, because I'd seen some coins improve, and this one did not. So it would make. Let's see if I can find out what that was. Well, it's not that important, but anyway, so I haven't quite figured out, the sig devs on the new listings yet. Now those listings did happen during some Bitcoin turmoil. That may have had something to do with it, but sounds like some of you guys did okay with those. So I'm glad it worked out for you. All right, I'll just throw it open to anything then. Any crypto stuff you guys want to talk about on a Friday afternoon?
How about Solana?
Yeah, I like Solana a lot. And that was one of my better. I had Bitcoin pairs on Solana and a swing trade that both did really well. And it's recovered pretty well from the drop. So let's look at that. So yeah, drop down here, and it's come back. Did drop today, but this project's solid. A lot of other projects are getting built on it, so I like it for intermediate and longer term trading. Day traded it some. It had a nice nice 1, 2, 3 dip here. Get in right around here. 3.5% to the SMA line. That's a good day trade. On the longer term, let's look at the 30-minute chart. You can try to get in.
4 cents. That's
Have it retrace back to 41 or so.
3 cents. So 3 cents,
17%.
10%.
And yeah, so this has potential. I wouldn't mind. This is one I'll probably look at tomorrow morning, see if it drops overnight, and try to have a nice weekend trade on it. Yeah, I like it. Any other coins you guys want to look at? I'm not quite the chart master that Bryce is, but I can tell you what I think. Okay. Alan wants to look at FTM. Yeah, I do too, because FTM let me down yesterday. I saw the sig dev about a partnership with some of the Soviet republics, Uzbekistan or one of those. I thought that might help it move, and it really didn't.
It seems to be moving over 10% a day, sometimes even over 20%.
Yeah, but this day chart looks brutal. We had the drop down here, 80%, and it really hasn't done much to get back. So this one has not recovered as well as some of the others.
But isn't the daily movement attractive?
I want to see some evidence of recovery, better than that. Of course, it has room to come up. That's one way to look at it. but it's heading down to at least my fibs, what I call my last line of defense. So this one would, I probably wouldn't want to, I don't know if I'd want to be in a long term on this or not. I don't know much about the project. I have traded the coin many times though on the short term. I've never held it for the long term. And this hour's trending down. It did have the similar dip pattern that we saw in the other coins, but it's already dropping again. So not sure about this one. All right, any other coins we want to look at?
I had some luck with WRX recently. It looks like it might be setting up again.
I really liked that coin last year. It's one of my best performers, but I haven't traded it much in 2021. Let's check it out. This looks a little different. So it hit its big high here in early April. Dropped down almost 90%. It's come back up to a 70% loss. So it's been slower to recover than the others, probably because it peaked sooner than the others. Had a really nice move early this morning, but gave up that recovery. Yeah, this token has something to do with an exchange in India, right? Or do you know?
I'm not sure. I just
Okay.
saw it setting up a few weeks ago or a week or two ago and made some money on it. And then
All right. Okay, so on the short term, when did two dips and then went up, and now it's dropping a little bit, trying to recover. I don't see a trade here, but I think if it punches over the SMA line with some good candle action, yeah, I don't know. That just doesn't quite appeal to me, but a lot of these coins are going to recover, and this one hasn't recovered that much. But there isn't a lot of crypto in India, and if I remember right, this has something to do with an Indian exchange. All right. Yeah, Jay is saying it should be a major exchange in India. That's my memory of it, because I was in this, and then news came out last year that clarified the position of the Indian government or court system on whether crypto is legal or not, and it shot up like crazy. So that was one of my better trades. I got more lucky than good on that one, but we could all use some luck in this game. All right. Well, guys, I'll take one more question or issue. We're on 45 minutes now, and Jay wants to see OGN, a coin I've been trading all day today. So this was the biggest mover yesterday, and it's still one of the few that are in the positive area after today's some of today's drops. So this was actually the coin I was leverage trading today. And I had a lot of success with OGN last year. I'd gotten away from it and then recently got back to it. But I can't recall what this project does that's different than the others. So we have a peak here in early April, dropped quite over 80%, reclaimed some of it in late May, then dropped again. We're down 77% from the high. In the 1 hour, it's dropped quite a bit. Spiked up early this morning like most of the others did. That's probably a Bitcoin move, and then dropped again on the 5-minute. Kind of squeezy, starting to bubble out again. And we've got, 9% between the high and the low Bollinger Band, so that's good. Yeah, this one was moving somewhat earlier in the day. I was trading it in this range on the 1 minute chart. I think 5 minutes short. Try trading on the 1 minute chart. Anyway, again, similar to the others, you could wait for another dip sequence or see if it punches up above here with some good candle action. Nice quick 3%. It's hit this 82, high 82s numerous times today. So that could be a good point for a retrace if you want to get something quick. Or you could hold on out longer, take more risk, and see if it gets back to where it was early this morning in this range here, 9%. That's where it was at 2 in the morning. So that's how I view OGN. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here. I'm going to stop the recording. Everybody watching, have a good weekend.
You
And
too.
but I'll hang around a little bit longer if you guys want to talk about some other stuff.